what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and this one is an incredibly exciting one because I once again had the very awesome opportunity to sit down and chat to both Ryozo-san and Ichinose-san, obviously remotely, you know, we're in lockdown, plus they're in Japan. I did it remotely, but I had the opportunity to interview them and ask them 14 questions, many of which I got incredibly useful, incredibly awesome answers for. Some of them they're still like, we can't tell you yet. Most of them I got answers for, and there's a lot of things in here you guys are definitely going to want to know about. So with that being said, let's not waste any time. If you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated, and let's dive right in. So unfortunately I wasn't able to actually record the audio, so you're just going to have to hear me say the questions and then read you the answers. But I started things off by talking about Rampage mode, which of course we saw recently. I said, what sort of rewards can we expect to get from Rampage mode? Now, obviously this one, they weren't going to tell me the rewards explicitly, but they did say there are parts that you'll be able to get from Rampage mode that you won't get from anywhere else. They said we don't want to spill all the beans, but as I'm sure you can imagine, those parts will be used for something special. Stay tuned for more. So, that much, a little bit vague, but it is fair to say that Rampage will have its own series of rewards, so there'll of course be reasons for us to pursue this, so it's definitely going to be cool. I look forward to finding out what cool stuff we can get from Rampage mode. Next up, moving on from there, I then went to speak about armor set bonuses. So obviously if you guys saw the recent skill stuff, you know, they showed the armor skills on the website. They showed the basic beginner Kimura set, and we of course got confirmation that if you wear multiple of the same armor set, you get a boost to your resistances, which then led me to think, you know, do armor set bonuses still exist? So I asked this, and they said yes, they do still exist. I.e., you know, when you equip multiple of the same piece, set bonuses are still a thing. Now, obviously, from the most recent trailer, we get to see that the Hub Maidens come and back us up in battle in Rampage mode. So I then wanted to know, who does this extend to? And more specifically, I said, can HOJO come and join me in battle? HOJO being the guy on the little Tetsu. They laughed about this one. Again, wish I could record it, because there were some funny moments. They laughed about this, and they then said, as I'm sure you've seen in the trailer, it's not just the Hub Maidens who can help you. There are some other NPCs. However, they did go on to say exactly which ones they're going to leave us to speculate, and we'll of course have to find out in the game. So I do wonder, because when you actually take a look at some of the gameplay, you'll see that most of the NPCs do have the functionality to chit chat. So I wonder whether there's a way to like build relationships with them, not like a romantic relationship, but like build like a friendship, and maybe once you've done that, I don't know, I'm just speculating. But either way, there will be more NPCs. I want to be joined by HOJO and the ninja guy. That's going to be cool. Next up, very important question. I was so happy to hear the answer to this one. Can you craft decorations? And they said yes, random RNG decorations are gone. We can now craft decorations. Back like the old system. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Like, they obviously didn't kind of speak about charms, and they said that charms are things you encounter later in the game. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be more so like the original system, where you craft your decorations, and charms are probably RNG based. So, yo, I'm so happy about this. No longer will I be sitting there being like, I can't make this build because I haven't got an attack gem. Yo, I'm happy. Game of the year. Next up, I then want to say, what kind of customization options do we have? Do we still have the option to customize our house? Stuff like that. And they did say, if you liked customizing your house in World and Iceborne, happy to say that is back. Don't have any gameplay for that. But they did say that as you play throughout the game, you will again be able to collect little trinkets and items that you can use to decorate your shelves. That sounds awesome. I like that a lot. Next up, I took a little deviation and I asked them, who do you think would win in a fight? BAJANG or the 9-foot lady from Resident Evil? They laughed at this one again, and they then said, as the Monster Hunter team, they need to defend their honour, so BAJANG would definitely win. So you heard it here. Next up, I asked whether this game would of course have G rank. I didn't really expect this because, you know, the typical formula is always high rank first, then some kind of ultimate version, but for confirmation, this game is just low rank and high rank, but they did of course go on to stress that of course they have separated village and hub quests, so you have multiplayer quests, village quests, low rank, high rank, and of course they said that when you do go to multiplayer, again, the scaling for difficulty is now per person, so it's no longer just single player, multiplayer, they're scaling for 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players. But yes, high rank is as far as this goes, but fair to say, if you've been with the series long enough, that's pretty expected. Now, next up, this one was a kind of a hyper-specific question. I said to them, I've seen the gun lance do a rocket blast in the trailer, and I didn't see a silk bind or like a wire bug or any kind of silk linked to this. So I said to them, does this mean there's different ways to use the weapons? They smiled at this, they laughed at this, they said, that's a very perceptive question, we're not saying anything right now. But they did, however, say, don't forget we recently announced that we will be having a presentation next month on the 8th of March and the 9th of March. They recently revealed that one. They said, please stay tuned for that, there may be more details. So, I'm just saying that they liked the question, but they didn't give me the answer. So it's fair to say there may still be more to see with the weapons that we have not yet seen. I'm excited. I just want a rocket blast with the gun lance. Like, is that too much to ask? Let me go BAM! Anyway, sorry. Back to the topic at hand. Next up, I then said that Rondine, she of course is the trader. She allows us to trade parts from foreign lands. I said, will she offer us the same functionality that we got in 4 Ultimate from the Lyceum, where you could trade parts for monsters that were not in the game? And they said that while it is true that there will be some parts you can only get from Rondine, they said the focus now is much more on armor sets and stuff from monsters that are in the game. So it doesn't sound like she's going to have any sort of, you can get Lagiacrus parts or Atalcar or like here's a monster that's not in the game, that kind of thing. But they did say that there will be some parts she will get that you can't get anywhere else other than trading from her. So there'll probably be some kind of armor set in the same way that in World or other games, you wanted to get like the Beetle set, you had to sort of get traded parts or things like that. Probably a similar kind of thing. She'll probably have some kind of exclusive items that can lead to weapons or armor, but it's not going to be like the Lyceum. Next up, I kind of like to mix up these interviews by asking them serious questions and silly questions. So I said to them, Almudron, fantastic new monster. I love that he's got a massive moustache. I said to them, do you not think he would be better with a giant beard? To which Ryozo laughed. He said, every time I speak to you, I have now come to expect a beard-related question. But he has said that everybody seems to love this monster, and they have now learned that adding beards to monsters and stuff in general seems to be really popular. I'm just saying. This were his words, not mine. So, anyway. Next up, I said, how long will it take to beat the campaign? Now, I appreciate this is kind of a sort of interesting question from Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter is far more than just the campaign. But for those of you guys interested, or sometimes maybe you guys are playing it more from like a casual point of view and you just want to play through the story and you're not really worried about doing stuff later on, that's fair enough. Ichinose-san said that it would kind of, on average, assuming, bear in mind everybody plays differently. Some people farm for ages, some people are good at the game, some people are newer to the series, different things like that. But he said, on average, for the village, story stuff, just kind of playing through the story, so to speak, he expects around 20 to 30 hours. Now, obviously, we as Monster Hunter players know the game will give us infinitely more than that when we start farming gear, but if you want to know how long the story will take to complete, that's what you're looking for. Next up, question number 12, I said, some of the NPCs are incredibly cool and they have really cool armor sets. I said, will it be possible in the game to unlock some of their armor sets? Specifically, I really like Kagero the Merchant and also the sort of training dude. I always forget his name. The guy with the Zenoga mask that is clearly not Zenoga gear, but it is Zenoga inspired. I said, is there a chance to get their armor sets? And they said that while it's not likely that every piece of gear or every piece of armor set will allow you to kind of wear what the NPCs are wearing, they did say there are a few fun pieces that we have in store where you might be able to have some fun with sort of NPC cosplay. They said, but in terms of, which ones, they want you to discover yourselves. So fair to say there'll be some cool stuff. I hope it's like back in Generations where you could get like the Talker armor set and you had to like do a load of quests and you unlock like a special armor set that didn't come from a monster, but it just came from sort of completing a load of things. That would be awesome. So yeah, definitely excited about that. Next up, I then said, will this game have any sort of either relic weapon system, or more specifically, I said, will it have like a system akin to that of, say, SAFIJIIVA that was introduced? And they said, no, the game will not have any sort of weapon system that is like SAFIJIIVA. So there's obviously still ways or kind of room to speculate outside of that, but safe to say, SAFIJIIVA weapon system or something like that is not going to be in Rise. And then finally, I rounded out with a personal question to both Ryozo and Ichinose-san, and I said, what is your favourite monster to Wyvern ride? Ichinose-san said it was Rathian. He said because after generations of getting tail swiped, he likes the fact that he can now ride Rathian and do the tail swipe. And Ryozo said Magnamalo, because, Magnamalo is just a badass. So they were the answers. So there you have it. That is my interview that I had with Ryozo-san and Ichinose-san. Again, massive shout out to Capcom for very kindly making that possible. And of course, massive shout out to you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some interesting things in there. There's definitely a few things that I'm excited about based on that interview. So that was a lot of fun. Anyway, that's it for the time being. Make sure you keep it locked to the channel. We already have a video I uploaded earlier on today, of course, showing off some gameplay, some sort of new gameplay we haven't seen just yet from Kamura Village, other stuff like that. And we got confirmation, of course, that the game is coming to PC next year. So there's that. Plus, later on today, I've got some more videos going live and over the weekend. So if you guys want to see some more Rise gameplay, definitely keep it locked. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269, Paradise Central and Investmore streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.